Hello and welcome to Beyond the Stars. My name is Mirantha O'Rourke. Today we have with us Sean Bond of PsionicLeague. Hello Sean, how are you? Thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks for having
Forgive
me.
me, I'm just still sharing out, so just a second. Where was I? So like, share, follow, all of the above, both our pages would be wonderful. We'd appreciate that. Where am I actually here? That'll be it, I think. Yeah, one to go. So, it's nice to have you here, Sean. I haven't seen you for a while. Everyone's been busy.
Yeah.
And I've had time off, which, yeah, it is good to connect. We get on really well, both Aquarius, so our heads are always off, oiled constantly into other things. So how I usually do this, Sean, is I just get people to begin by sharing a little bit about themselves, especially who they are, what they offer as well, because you have your own business and website, etc. How people can connect with you, and in order to connect with you, what does that mean? What do you actually do? If you'd like to share that, that'd be great. Thank you.
Sure, thanks. I'm Sean Bond, the founder of PsionicLeague, a group of people that reverse engineer superhuman abilities and psionic abilities found around the planet. Psionic is a word that's come out more recently, but I got into it at the beginning when it was esoteric. And psychic abilities accumulated around the planet into a science with equations, mind over matter, and used by the military quite often. My passion is learning how to solve problems and tuning into things and reverse engineering these abilities, build them all together, start a psionic renaissance so we can solve most of our worldly problems as we understand more about what is this world we're born into, what is humanity, what is on this plate, what is the missions we came here to do, purpose, and the greater unfoldment of this reality that is just unending amounts of things to discover and mysteries and secrets. And it's just so lovely in this great mystery. I'm also a healer. I went through tremendous amounts of pain and suffering and learned how to resolve those things for myself, and all these different things coming at me nonstop until I had to either learn how to master it and become immune to it or die. And then learn how to heal people over distance, release pain, resolve negative emotions, help people with suicide thoughts and emotions, and chronic fatigue. Got people out of the bed that in the hospital that were told they wouldn't make it through the night. I've helped so many people. I love people, and wanting to discover the great mysteries that are here and learn more. So many abilities I've learned as I teach them all to other people. I know how they work. Very analytical like that. I explored many parts of the planet, been to hundreds of pyramids right now, hundreds of pyramids. I live now in Mexico. There's tens of thousands here. We do tours. I also have the honor of being one of the only individuals that is in this field of knowing a bunch of elders on different points of land that are bringing up artifacts that change history, with aliens depicted of many different species, and been on many digs, and I'm involved in the attempt and the balance station of either attempting to prove or disprove it as a phenomenon. And I'm getting lots of data, and currently the proving section is a lot more than what evidence to disprove.
Yeah, I love that you do that. I love that you haven't just taken things gospelly, the things that you've found. You actually will truly go to the depths of either proving that it's true or disproving, and which is great, because a lot of people take that advantage of that in a way where they believe it to be true doesn't necessarily mean that it is attitude. So the fact that you will literally come out of your own self in a way and go, this is not about you, this is about what is real, what is true, and to know that it is real is a big deal, because a lot of things, as you said, that you were telling me even not that long ago, that there's a lot of stuff that isn't real, it isn't actually an artifact per se. Now, when it comes to your artifacts and things like that, you literally go into science as well, don't you? Fully into science. It's not just because you're a channel. For those that don't know, Sean is actually a channel. So, but he uses both his own psionic abilities and as a channel to look into the depths of objects, the depths of knowledge. But you guys also go scientific, don't you? Don't you go into, there's something else that you belong to that you can explain that because I don't know, but there's something else that you guys go into that you use to absolutely make sure that what you're finding and what you're teaching is true, correct?
Oh yeah, I love doing that. I started out in a very skeptical, scientific family, so I had to, be strong in foundation with everything. Otherwise,
Right.
arguments and debates and all that.
Yeah.
So big into science in the beginning, especially through different awakenings and getting out of indoctrination school and
Yep.
free to do what I wanted. So I was very interested in the beginning in increasing intelligence and IQ and learning how to program the body and genetics and evolution. And then a bunch of mystical experiences happened. So then it's like, oh, I can't not believe that demons exist now, or angels or ETs. So we got a lot of visitations and abductions.
Right.
So in the attack with demons coming to where it's, I found it would respond and have an intelligence to it. So then, okay, I better learn some things, and then learning exorcism and then countering all that. So now I'm in a field of science that barely anyone's in. So I honored to help bring this knowledge out to empower people, and very scientific based in what is real, skepticism, the merging of subjective and objective truth, but like seeing true objective truth is like the consciousness of all, in like your source connected to all perspectives, seeing all of the multidimensionality of reality, but like anchored to what has happened, being and solidified and remembered and shareable in groups of consciousness and replicatable. And the same I do with the artifacts, because I'm not having an agenda. I don't really make money off of this at all. I lose lots of money because I want to form a museum. And but I'm very interested in disclosure because that will bring more freedom and humanity, free energy technology, levitation, and the challenging of our current status quo and global narrative of beliefs.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that a lot of people are talking about that in many different fields, about the future of how much controlled we are here by every aspect of what we use and what we believe. How it's not, a lot of it's not even our own understandings. We really truly haven't pushed through as a consciousness yet to realize that what's possible. So therefore, free energy and freedom of the people will definitely be the future in some way. So obviously you play a very huge part in that by not just one field that you're in, but by multiple fields. Now you also work with others, is that correct? I've seen that you travel a fair bit. It's a worldwide concept that you follow, and you guys do a lot of public events and conferences, is that correct? So who else do you work with?
Oh yeah, all over the place. Again, and PsionicLeague is a group of a growing number of people that have different abilities and want to amplify the planet. I go to many conferences, so I'm open to any new conferences coming out. I make friends with everyone. I don't even worry about people's dirty energy because I have a counter to anything that comes at me. So it's kind of like a thing that just makes me stronger. So I'm brave to the point where I don't. I want to, get out there as much as possible to help as many. Yeah, exactly. I've been to I work with Rion as Guardians of Guardians Rise of Guardians Conference, the alien events, things for full disclosure. Miles is having a conference coming up, and I'm working with some other people to collaborate and unite in some ways.
Yeah, well, your partner as well. You guys have I saw recently you guys had time with Stephen Greer. I'm aware of him. He was actually, funny enough, I don't know a lot about him. I'm aware of him, but probably 3 years ago. He was an interesting gentleman that I think just pop up in front of you, and you get to see people and their perspectives and what they're here doing and things like that. And of course, being the UFO side of it, I was extremely interested. And I saw him, like I said, quite some time ago. And he was the gentleman that actually opened the door for me for my first real sighting, my true physical seeing. I mean, I see lots of things because I'm channel, but I mean physically something that runs over the house. He was the first one that got me sort of open to that, because I actually did a little thing of his so long ago, but a little meditation that he had put out. He probably had it for 20 years, I don't know. But it involved you being able to see UFOs, like physically in the sky and things like that. So I tried his meditation, and within that 2-week period, I had something fly over the house that was unmistakable. I wish I had my camera, would have been damn great, probably made the news, but it doesn't matter. All that matters is that I saw it. But it was undeniable of what I experienced, and that was because of him. So I do know little bits about him, and I know that whatever he gave for that specific moment for people to try, and I would say he probably uses it in a lot of his own when he goes out around, travels the world and takes people out to see UFOs and things like that. I'm sure he probably gives them that ideal of how to open them up to see. Well, it worked for me, and I was already channeled. So the fact that he gave me a physical opening to actually see something that I didn't think I'd actually really see for real was really interesting. But I saw you guys having time with him just recently. What was that about?
So I'm in Mexico. We're right next to Mexico City, and that's where the Boogosphere is being kept. My girlfriend's on the research team, the Boogosphere, and I come along and add what I can. But the team is very scientific, and some of the members don't particularly like the psychic field, so I'm waiting for them to open up to it. As her and I have this perspective that it's been purposely out of commission with being shocked by electrical wires, to where it descended and given to humanity, and then to where they're mostly trying to figure out how it works in levitation, which is fine and great. I think that helps a lot, but we're in a perspective that it's more as a communicator and interacting for messages and awareness, because it's telepathic, and it is contacted us quite a bit and appeared in many of our dreams. People, everyone, the research team, and it's very fascinating. I'm okay with again, with any state of reality. I'm okay with disproving or proving it. But the proof on the Boogosphere has a lot more, especially when you go down a rabbit hole of it.
For sure.
With the carbon dating, the emission of energy signals, of information, it receiving commands, and the footage, which I can bring up footage.
Yeah, do that.
While we're talking.
Can you explain what it is, the Boogosphere? Because a lot of people have never even heard of it. They have no idea what it is. Do you have a bit more of a history of idea of how this was possible? I've seen the video that you had of the Boogosphere actually moving in the sky, but okay, thank you. Maybe you
click on the window that has that.
Wrong one. Yep, gotcha. There. No, at the stage.
No, different one. That one.
Give a girl a stick. There we go. She got him. Okay.
So here's the footage of the Boogosphere flying. There's even HD video of it, so to where you can see it spinning. Goes around. It's like a inner Earth alien surveillance drone is what is likely. Now there's a lot of people, governments claiming it's theirs. It's reverse engineered tech. They want it back. And there's even been cops that show up to try to confiscate it. So there's a lot going on with it. They've been able to put it in a contraption to spin it the same direction, and it has gotten lighter and changed weights over time in its travel. It's changed weights. It's changed temperatures. It responds to people. It gives off different emissions, especially if you're singing to it, and Sanskrit. The letters on the top of it are known as Proto-Sanskrit, and it's they're found around the planet in different places. Interestingly, the adhesive in the chip area has been carbon dated as 12,450-ish years old. So whatever that means.
Yep.
And so there's a lot going on with it. The way it's made is interesting because it's all one solid piece, except the chips on the top. There's carbon. There's optic cables, which is in the video right now, at the horizon, which is what this is, and that's our friend David. There's so much being discovered. There even like in the other things, other possible spheres being found dug up. I've not dug those up, so I can't tell you if they're truly authentic, but I'm open to it. And then, but artifacts I have dug up that have the same symbols on it. So I know that even though it's found in Colombia, and some artifacts, alien artifacts, are being found all throughout the Americas, and a lot all throughout the Americas. This chip-like design, and here's like some of them. Here's me with the Boogosphere, and us doing like a group meditation chanting to get it to respond. These crystal skulls, there's crystal UFOs, there's all kinds of artifacts that have this chip design on it, which when I tune into Psionically and ask it, because it does respond to me, what was the chip for? It has aspects of artificial intelligence, it looks like, and it's also an antenna that receives a greater state of consciousness that is a little bit beyond our technological understanding, but is close and similar to how biological life of the body DNA antenna self-receptor cells receive a signal of consciousness from the field of consciousness for an incarnation into a physical body. So it's like it's receiving a greater consciousness, and there's different ones for different types of spirits that they're drawing into the artifact. Many over 60 plus types of ET races are being depicted on a lot of these artifacts, all kinds of stuff, and we bring them to interact with the sphere.
Yep. Okay. So you're saying at least 60 that you're aware of. Okay, so in your own interpretation, is there any species that you felt may have actually started this creation, or was the original, or do you think it's everyone was involved?
Are you talking about the Boogosphere, the Earth, or humanity?
No, the Boogosphere. The little symbolism that sits on top that obviously looks a bit like a chip. Sure. Yeah, the one to the left-hand side, that symbolism there. But the whole idea of the Boogosphere and all these images and things, any idea who may have started that process and to bring it here?
Sure. We have some ideas based on the ET and different races of sentients that are depicted near it. I'll show you when I'm done with this little thing.
Yep.
My friend Geo Alien, he also, feel free to subscribe to him. He's collecting artifacts as well. And these people like, oh, this is fake. They're reproducing them. The ones with the chips were found before the Boogosphere, and we've also dug things up that are like based on the scientists that came. They said that if this were to be faked in the scenario, then it would at least have to have been buried for a few years, which is beyond the time of when the Boogosphere was found, which is good credible evidence. There are all these long skulls that are being found near a lot of the spheres. I'll show those in a second. There's these cephalopod races. Here's like the long skull type. There's different types of hybrid humanoids, different shapes and depths and lengths and direction of the long skulls. There's avians found with them. Here, I'll just like end this after. Let's see. Yeah, some of the spheres being dug up. There's also cubes, and again, it depicting these ETs granting spheres to humanity or a hominid race here. I like this one, all kinds of stuff. And my girlfriend has a crazy connection with past lives because she made this symbol 8 years ago, and she's
I
found.
remember that now. I remember it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so that feel free to bring me back on the screen with you. I'll show you some. Thank you. Okay. So here's like let me get rid of this background. All right, so here's one of the crystal artifacts we found. It glows in UV light. It's also got the Proto-Sanskrit on it. It's got the similar designs as the Bugosphere. On the bottom, it depicts the spirits of these long skulls with a pine cone-like device that could be a pineal gland kind of thing. And them have a spirit body coming off a swirl. So a lot of symbology with that.
Yep. And what is besides obviously to reveal truth, but what is the real purpose of why you feel the stuff has come here, has been found here? Is there something in the future that maybe you're aware of, that if you'd like to share that? If there's things you don't want to share, don't share them. What is the purpose behind all of it?
Absolutely. So like, here's some more of the long skulls and these things with either face apparatus or sometimes a chin strap like in Egypt. And then these avian type beings like Horus and Ra, as well as we found ibises and eagle people. So there's many different types of species, but a lot of the artifacts are having Egyptian-like both gods, which is probably a species because they're depicted a lot of different ways, and hieroglyphs, as well as Sumerian cuneiform and gods. So they seem to have either people experienced them in some way. The artifacts may have transversed multiple cultures, or they might experience them in psychedelic vision, questing dreams, or physically saw them.
Right. Okay. And is there many other places besides Mexico? Because Mexico seems to be the main dig site, correct? Is there anywhere else in the world that these have come up?
Yes, Colombia, Mexico, Tula, Huelos mostly, but we found people that are all over Mexico, and some like farmers finding them, and they're Catholic, so they're like the devil, so they throw them out.
They'd be afraid,
And in South America, certain places, Peru, and all the way up into the United States, like Arizona, especially, is what I've been hearing. Like with people, there's rumors in the Grand Canyon of, and there's some artifacts that have been found and dug up, but like the Grand Canyon, there was a thing where they found Egyptian artifacts, hieroglyphs, and gods depicted, which is the same thing.
Yeah. What's the comparison though to the Egyptian ideal? Like, why is there a lot of Egyptian information on there besides UFO? Do you think what's the comparison? Why do you think that has been chosen per se?
Well, it's probably associated with the beings and being seen, and so they would likely have taught a certain type of language all around the planet, and then when interacting with humanity. And these are all offshoots of Atlantis. So like Egypt, starting at its most advanced right at the beginning and then degrading over time, shows inheritance as well as recession of the equinox. When we're closer to Sirius A, we get higher in consciousness. When we're away, goes to the dark ages, and it's a golden age, iron age, and the visitations of that. Now, to your previous question of like what they're doing, what this could be, a lot of reasons. Every race I've found has added their genetics to humanity. So we're like a big super hybrid experiment. Earth is also a jewel of the multiverse that a lot of things have a chess move in. I found when beings have a problem or a trauma or a big thing to solve, like, where do I go to solve this? And pointing to Earth is like one of the ways. A lot of species that have something happen to their planet, maybe a destruction, or they got disconnected from it, or it's gone missing, and their fertility goes down when they're disconnected from the planet. So they end up
True,
going
yeah.
into cloning, and
Yep.
they want to solve that. So this is the fertility remedy planet, as well as we can helps. We're big caretakers to this, but humanity and Earth can help bring fertility grounds to dead planets or whatever, and then make it so a species can thrive again.
Yeah, right.
There are some species that have transcended time and have this grand schematic of the planet. Some of the races I've talked to, they see us kind of like a garden. They're kind of their own offspring children, but even beyond that. And they added their genetics both for them and to help us, or there's varying degrees of selfishness versus helping and mutual
Yeah,
benefit,
for sure.
depending on the race. As we're going through this big growth and coming into ourself, awakening, remembering, and this big evolutionary activation, these big explosions of energetics from our soul and other things that happen in the sun and stuff. There'll be big evolutionary growth. Some people call it ascending processes, though I don't agree with every definition of what that means.
No, I'm on the dry. Yeah.
And it's more and harmonic and intelligent, the process.
Yeah.
It affects, as we grow and heal ourselves and everything else, it affects everything in our DNA lineage. So they're all growing from this and getting past their blocks and barriers.
Yeah.
Some are making the equation to help manage this planet. There's a big time war over what's going on, both light and dark and neutral and stuff. And the light are adding things to the timeline back in time that get to the equation that is needed and make things better, such as how these artifacts, some of them have influence to be added, which is interesting.
Gotcha.
Some of the people involved digging it up usually has some draw or past life to it too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Have you had a look at your own? I was thinking about that before. I was like, so have you had a look, if you want to share it, have you had a look at your own input into this? Like, how are you connected? Have you had anything in a past existence that is relevant for now while you're here and while because you're pretty much in the centerpiece of the disclosure itself of all this, correct? So you and others, but you play a pretty big role. So therefore there's some importance, not importance as in special, but as importance as to the knowledge that you hold that is very relevant to where we're going. Would you like to share a little bit of that, if you're okay? Sharing a little bit of who you are and stuff? Yep.
Sure. I go into knowingness, oracle tech, and reading souls, past lives, etc., the DNA. So I look into my past lives a lot of them bleed over, and it's an interesting beyond time thing. Some will go into I have simultaneously incarnating selves like a tree of light branching off when it grows enough to make more of itself, branching off at different times that will go into multiple species in inner Earth. Some of the species are depicted. Some go into influencing and interacting with humanity, or hybrid versions of humanity that get watered down over time. That so many have added their testimony. And those are usually the times depicted in interaction with these artifacts. So I'll have versions of myself that I track back with some of the races that go with that. I have versions and species that are time traveling, making the timeline better, and even involved in the artifacts and adding them. Some are made by ETs, some are made by hybrids and then watered down different generations of humans venerating something they saw. Most of them are the humanoid ones making something they saw, but they usually are interestingly enchanted and powerful and alive and talk to you, and it's like a little cell phone that you can contact and interact with the races that are venerated. And they emit rare sonic abilities that upgrade you quite heavily. So here's like the avian eagle people with the pine cone, as well as this dragon like a Quetzalcoatl. Here's these a different type of abnormal skull winged humanoid, and it has an interesting symbol that's seen in Tula often with the butterfly warrior statues that are giants on the Pyramid of Tula. Now, here's also going into a reptoid species, which is probably some type of crocodile, alligator type, being like the Nile ones, Sobek, it's like that, in Egypt. And but it could also be Draco, Naga, Raptor, all kinds of things that I've found as I track them back sonically. And I don't know what's holding, maybe some type of egg or something.
Yeah.
Here's another being that has one of those famous handbags, Gucci of the Gods. And
Gucci of the Gods is correct. You see them everywhere, correct? Like they're everywhere in Egypt and all sorts of places. So, and what is your interpretation of the little handbag? Let's just go into something a little different, because everyone has an idea of what they mean and why. Being who you are, I'd probably believe more about your understanding than some of the stuff that's obviously on the internet. So what is the little handbag idea? Because like I said, it's everywhere. It's just been on everything.
Okay, I'll try to find one of our artifacts that I've found that has the handbag for you.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I found multiple of the handbags in artifacts. I'm open to different interpretations, because I don't think I know everything or the arbiter of truth.
No, that's true.
But here's one that's down there. Right.
Oh, yep.
So this also has this is found in Mexico, but it has Sumerian cuneiform. Now this one has I don't think it's a handbag. I think it's like an artifact made based on inspired of ancient technology. So reproduced by a generation, but it's ancient. This one has a powerful spirit in it that is depicted on it, that is huge, as in like some of those symbols would describe planets. So it's solar system size kind of thing, and it's compressed. This artifact actually holds the spirit, and it acts similarly to a jinn in like a lamp. Not that its main purpose isn't really granting wishes though, but it's an overpowered spiritual object artifact that will talk to you and can do certain things. It also acts similar to a key for many aspects of existence, in mostly having to do with genetics and the human or biologic experience. And it upgrades, so it's like having a teacher with you and guardian. I don't translate Sumerian, so I'm sure there will be more interesting things to discover with it. I'll see if I can find one of the other ones I found, which was like the artifact psionics that were emitted in it were amplifying third eye consciousness, awareness, and allowed like a key to take with them in meditation and experience. Like they're holding a suitcase to go on a flight to another dimension or realm or whatever. In mostly energetics, it didn't like physically teleport them. Though I would say based on that, that's very capable, because some of the actual technology I read that this is venerating would be advanced race technology that they would compress into a handbag size thing that they can carry around, which there were different types I read. Some acted in the advanced, take it to the extreme level of handbags, to where it has dimensional space, where like there's concepts like a bag of holding or the suitcase in Fantastic Beasts, where he has a whole realm in it, like advanced storage, like TARDIS, it's bigger on the inside type of thing. There was also some that get into what they store in a laboratory in it. advanced technology and genetics, which I think is a little depicted stuff with Göbekli Tepe, and some use it in teleportation, time travel. That's soft disclosed in the Umbrella Academy. There's let me try to remember everything. It amplifies things, activates stuff genetically, allows them to travel somewhere. Some more of the other devices were used as like remotes than that one. Let me try to remember this other factor. I'll try to translate this other one I found. It's a little bit hard to translate, but it's big things in a tiny package compressed. So that's the kind of concept.
If anybody wants to ask Sean a question while he's here, feel free. I'll keep an eye out on the listings, on the comments. Be open to ask him anything. He's pretty open-minded, and when he says he does know everything, no, that's true, but he does know a heck of a lot. I can vouch for that. So yeah, if there's anything you want to ask him, feel free to. I'll keep an eye out for that. So is there anything, any other artifacts you've got that you'd like to show? Because I know you've got, you're going to be opening a museum at some stage. Is that correct? Any idea when that may possibly happen, or you're still going through that concept of organising?
Oh yeah, I'm doing it with Issa. We're going through a lot to do it. Going through a lot of legal stuff. We're currently now gathering the artifacts and then keeping them safe, and then figuring out to collaborate with certain people. There have been museums of these artifacts started in the past, and they got ransacked by people in black with masks on.
Oh, right. So okay. Funny that.
That's what we got to look out for.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I can bring up a bunch of images for you. Let's see if I can share. Okay. Yeah, I'll do. Well, yeah, I can do that. I'll do some of the videos because that's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I can
stop it and all that. So here's one. I think. Oh wait. That's sorry. I guess it's not like that's not sharing. Here I'll bring up it again. Okay. There you go. The big skull.
Oh wow. Okay. I've seen these before, but yeah, still a wow factor. It's amazing. Is that crystal or stone? Is that a crystal or a stone? Like just
it's a crystal with lots of etching.
Crystal? Okay.
Some of them are clear quartz, but we're finding ones in all different types. There's more than 13. Though those ones I think are depicting more of a humanoid form in clear quartz. There are way more beyond that. There's obsidian, many different types of crystals and multiple types of species, including these long skulls. And on the depiction, again, we see the Buga chip design, these avian type species, a long skull species, an Anubis type species, a cephalopod species, him pointing up to this being with an eye for a head, which was interesting anomaly for a while. Then every time we find an artifact with this type of being, some people think it's like Tiamat or the all-seeing being eye. I see it as a species. Now every one that I've seen is around like 13th dimensional and around that. So it seems like a higher dimensional being coming down and giving lots of knowledge and wisdom. It's pointing out these reptilians on the side, which we don't know exactly what species they are. And the Anubis guy has a handbag. But here's these two reptoids, which could be Naga, Raptors, Draco, all kinds of things that we don't know. It's got both a trident and an interesting staff. There's an obelisk behind it. multiple planets above it, which some are ringed, multiple rings. So you'd imagine it's might not just be depicting like the solar system.
Yeah, exactly.
We found an obelisk near where this was, so that might be part of it.
Okay. Yep.
And there's a scarab on the top, which goes into death and rebirth and levitation.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
There's a
Wow.
god to it. And here's all these long skulls, which they're doing some interesting like ritual or something here, where they're holding all their staffs in the center where this crescent is, which might be the moon or something. And this beam of light coming off of what looks like a pyramid and an arc in different plasmas connecting to planets. We don't know what that means, but I'm open to interpretation. Feel free to put it in the chat.
Yeah, if there's anybody there who's got a bit of an idea, please do comment, and I'll put the comment up.
Yeah, the pineal gland kind of iconography, the scales by the Nubis being held, all kinds of stuff.
Unbelievable.
There's so many skulls being found again. In this one dig, we found 8. And I'm sorry if I interrupt you.
8? No, you're right. 8. Holy cow! In one spot itself.
Yeah, exactly. We're finding more around that area. And I'll put up another share screen for something. I guess I can show some. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'll do that. 1 second. Okay, so I got one of the long skulls with me, so I'll probably show that after we dig up. I show you one of these videos. If we can find the exact one. No, that's not it. Okay, I think this is it. No. Jeez. I'm going through weird.
You're right. Take your time.
Trying to find it. Okay. Is it this? No. What the heck? Where is my missing video? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Well, Rainey said she wants to come and volunteer for the digs. Well, go to Mexico. Get on a plane. Actually, is it you guys that I read recently that do take people on digs and things like that? Was that you or was that someone else I'm thinking? Do you offer that?
Of scientific teams that are wanting to look into it further. It's kind of a little bit of a pain on our end for that, but feel free to contact me and might have something we can offer you. But I'm not
it's worth asking.
Guaranteeing anything. Yes, I got the video up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So here's.
Oh my God, look at that. So are you guys mapping out and got an idea where to dig? Does someone know, or is it just a bit random? How does this happen? How do you find them?
So a lot of them are found in a specific area, like near rivers, hills, like private land is where we're going. There's like things that if you look around that will tell you some information on where to look. Then we met elders that know where the lands are that they're holding space for, and we become their friends. And then they don't always find artifacts. When they do, every time we've gone, we have found artifacts. We use psychic tracking. We do a big ceremony for the land.
Right.
And on this skull, there's like metal or calcum chip on the top, like a boogosphere, just so people.
Yeah, I thought I saw something. Yep.
Or calcum's like that Atlantis metal that can't be replicated yet. That's a combination of like copper, gold, and many other metals. And they have analyzed some of the metals that look like this, and they have confirmed they're orichalcum or different variants. Yeah, we do psychic tracking. We do a big ceremony. We get the land, the spirits to like us. We tell them our intention. We trade with them, give them wholeness, healing, purification, clearing, give them agreements and trade. And then it's like the earth is a hologram, and doesn't approve of you. You won't find anything. If it approves, then you'll find more things that people have taken like DMT and found a bunch of weird stuff. People have done big prayers, and they dig where they did a prayer and they find stuff. It's strange. It's like there's a whole other field of how this works.
Yeah. So it's opening up the awareness field, especially, which makes sense because it is the land itself needs to be respected, but just to find these types of artifacts, you don't really want everybody digging for this sort of thing because it won't be respected. It'll be sold, it'll be misused, and God knows where it could end up. You know what I mean? To be honest,
there's a lot of greed in this field. We get
for sure
a bunch of ego and evil and things coming at us to be more successful, and we're trying to get them out in what they want to do in disclosure and helping awaken humanity. So. We're constantly asking what they want. There are people trying to steal, make money off this. There's people that are faking artifacts. So I do believe there are fake artifacts. It's just I've been on digs that it's a pain. It looks based on how deep you go and their roots and patina and their trees and rocks and cactuses growing over it, and these big boulders you got to move out of the way. Scientifically, we've had people looked at it that start on virgin ground, and they're pretty impressed with how likely it is it's not being faked, or that if it was being faked, it would have to be super intricate to where they would have to have dug it, buried it years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, it's just incredible. And so your main dig is Mexico, obviously, at this point, but so a lot of those, so you're scientifically carbon dating a lot of that stuff, which is interesting. So what did you say the oldest artifact that you've found so far, or you're aware of, years-wise?
Well, so the artifacts in the area have been analyzed by multiple teams with different testing. Most common carbon-14, and that goes into testing the adhesive between crystals and certain types of organic material found in it deeply, to where their analyzation has, depending on how far you go down, some at the top will be like 3 feet down that are clay pots and little statues and things that Tula is like the place where Quetzalcoatl went missing, and is both Aztec, Mayan, Toltec, Olmec, and Meztec making civilizations, and they all say that they inherited the pyramids, and a lot of the pyramids are made with layers. So there's 20 plus other civilizations they don't talk about, and especially the ET stuff. So it's a big inheritors making layered civilizational things as you go down, and so the farther you go down, the more ET-ish it gets. Some that I know have been analyzed are like going to a range of 1,000, 10,000, 18,000, and 19,000 years old. I've heard from things in Abuelos, which I've also been to dig. We know people there that they can go into 30,000, but I haven't seen that information. So I can't conclude that. Totally.
Goodness gracious me, it's a long time, isn't it? Somebody is going to ask a question, so I might put that up. Raylene wants to know if we have here any in Australia, Alice Springs, because there's in Australia we only live pretty much on the fringes of our own country, so there's a lot of inner land that is undiscovered and unused, but obviously by Indigenous, Aboriginal, that is their land, and they have walked that area for a very long time. So I'm not very aware of any Aboriginal artifact or history. You might be. So do you think there'd be anything here that there could be the future and perhaps you coming this way and seeing what's here? So, yeah, can you let us know a little bit what you know about Australia?
So a lot going on with Australia. It's a bit of a melting pot. It's overpowered as a psionic continent that can heal many things on the planet. It's one of the first notches of one of the things that needs to be done first in like this big system of like turning on a vehicle for Earth, which has been suppressed for a while, which is interesting. There's powerful places, ancient history. There's a lot of relic species, a lot of things in inner Earth. There's like giant species in inner Earth under it that I track back. There's some interesting ET bases and AI formats. The Draco are very interested in keeping control of Australia for various reasons, as well as New Zealand. A lot of the elites move to New Zealand for various reasons when they flee other countries. So there's a lot of ET warring kind of things over Australia. I remember hearing about in various articles and videos that they were finding Egyptian hieroglyphs and god depictions in Australia in various places. So I'd recommend looking to see if you can find that rabbit hole, because and then the locations around there, that would be the best place to look. Alice Springs, I track a lot of military bases, and things that militaries that abduct people in a version of a secret space program.
Yeah, that's true.
That too. So I'd imagine they're looking for various assets underground as well, as they make a base in a location for a reason.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're a hub of activity here for sure. There's no doubt about that. I remember when we first met, and some of the stuff that you were telling me here and that we traced and stuff like that was interesting. So I agree with that. Does anybody else like to ask any sort of question? Let me go through and see if I can see anything. Michelle Aubrey, I don't know, it must have been a previous statement or something you're talking about, but she said what's this on? Remember the ancient copper plates that all disappeared. So maybe she was talking perhaps about people that have discovered other things that went missing. Maybe it's government stuff. Is that what you're talking about, Michelle? Maybe? Do you know anything about that? Ancient copper plates?
If I was able to see them, I'd be able to tell you if I know, because I've heard multiple of those and a lot of things that go missing like that.
Yeah, right. Okay. Is that relevant to the CDT plates with all that sort of information? It's all that ET information?
We have found tablets. Let's see. I don't have one up here, but I have an interesting device. It's downstairs, the tablet. But I can show you some things I got on my camera, and I got some mind-blowing stuff. I'll share the screen with. Here, I'll start with. There are copper tablets being found, scrolls. Different types of weird metal, long-lasting stuff. So and metallurgy has been. It looks like these cultures have them because we found different metal objects, like a key, for instance, that has Egyptian stuff on it, and it is alive. It contacts us, or at least the spirit in it, anyway. Okay, so here's another video for you. Here's me digging up what has a Sumerian, both Sumerian gods and a Sumerian cuneiform on it, and it looks like the Sumerian astrolabe. To be honest, it's almost identical. It's just bigger and it glows and also has a back to it. But let me going ahead. This is just one of the videos. Let me get rid of that, and then I'll bring up some of the things. Okay, here we go. They've also found. Go ahead and bring that up. Yeah, thank you. They've also found stargates for people, just so they know. That are crazy. I'll just bring this down for a second.
My lordy, look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's seriously beautiful. What size is that? That looks huge.
It is. Yeah. I don't know how to say the size, but
Okay, now I see it. Yep.
it's pretty. You can fit through it essentially.
Oh, really? That's
Like that
incredible.
little hole in the center right here held a skull, crystal skull. That's about a
Did
foot.
it? Oh, wow.
So it's like maybe 5, 6 feet, 7
Yeah.
feet across. I don't know, something like that. It has a different long skull, ibises. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
It's incredible, isn't it?
So let's see here. There's multiple. We even have a portal artifact. Let me. Okay. So yeah, here's
so many things we're unaware of. It's just mind blowing.
Here's the artifact I have at home, and I'll show it on the stream in a bit. That has the orichalcum chip. One of our long skulls. We found more of these type long skulls than pretty much anyone else, but people are finding more and more, so that's nice. And there's all these other kind of like UFO, a boat, a wristband. Let's see what else is here from the video if it shows up. Yeah, this avian looking skull that we got. Let's see. Yeah, me with Stephen Greer. There's this other long skull that we found. I can't show that one. Sorry.
Oops, yeah.
Sure. There's me with Trevor Grassi. What kind of weird? Oh yeah. Let me get this. Okay, here it is. So here's the Sumerian looking kind of astrolabe here that we dug up.
Yeah.
And here's it cleaned off for you guys. It looks pretty much like
I say it's an astrological. Yeah.
If you've ever seen this one,
yeah,
then this
I have.
is handheld.
Mm-hmm.
Here's it glowing in UV light.
A lot of them do. You've found that have all glow under UV. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Not all, only some, maybe.
Not all, but a lot of them do. And it's saying it's depicting an event in time and the stars.
Okay. Yep.
Kind of thing. At least that's what it says. So yeah, and then the bottom of it, I don't know what that's. Okay. This is the back. So it's got the Sumerian type of being and the avian type, which they're both found in Sumeria. The Buga triangle, whatever.
Wow.
Which we found something that has a triangle with it that looks kind of like it's a what's the word? It's like a Ouija board triangle, but we don't know how to use it because it's an entirely different language.
Yeah, well, that's true. Have you guys been able to at least interpret some of the language? Has anybody's got an idea?
Well, we're finding experts in different languages as well as trying to analyze it with AI, but that has a limit.
Yeah, true.
Let me see. Okay, so I can here if you want to bring me back up on the screen.
Yep, sure.
So here's one of the tablets that was found with the Ouija board looking thing. If you want on StreamYard, near the big version of me screen, up in this right hand corner, there should be a extend, and you can expand my window for a second while I can still hear you.
Oh, yeah, I got you. See, okay. There we are.
So just for people to see. So we think this might be like a contact Ouija board, but also has spells on it and other stuff. But we need to get it analyzed. I don't know ancient Egyptian.
Never seen anything like that in my life. Like, goodness gracious.
Here's it. And then the back of it has all these long skull winged, but with mermaid tail type beings. And
oh, yep, see that.
A big planet like Jupiter, possibly. And here's like that, what that triangle looks like in the center. That is kind of like a contact Ouija board or something.
Okay.
And then all these planets and spheres. pine cones and stuff that they're holding. And all this glows too in UV light. This is nice.
It's incredible.
And here's the skull, just so I can get that out of the way for you. If you want to bring up the screen again real quick.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Problem is it's really heavy, so I'm not going to spend too much time holding it. So here's that.
Oh, unbelievable.
So it's got like Anubis-like beings with wings on it
Yep,
and long
see that?
skulls.
It's incredible.
Oh, gosh.
It's just the sort of things you never think you see in your life, you know what I mean, in your lifetime. It's like,
Oh yeah,
wow.
I love this.
Such an honor. We're grateful for you to show us.
This one's my favorite.
Yeah, I can see why.
Dreams and stuff, and a lot of telepathy. The long skulls are very awake, have high levels of omniscience, and activate certain things. The first one I showed you, the wider one, was big in truth. This one's big in different superpowers, and the bluish one had life extension stuff. But yeah, there's that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh god.
Beautiful, isn't it? There's so much we don't know yet. It's like incredible.
Great.
I'm just going to put up a question from Michelle, if you'd like to perhaps look at that one. Do you know any other type of humans that coexisted with the long skull beings?
Sorry, what was the question?
Do you know any other type of humans that coexisted with the long skull beings?
Yeah, that's depicted a bunch. I'll try to find some artifacts that depict that stuff. So there are, like around the planet. Yeah, so like definitely the Mesoamerica stuff. My friend Michelle, that I'm going to a conference with Miles, so we just did a show. You can look back.
Okay.
My PsionicLeague YouTube live section for our show with Michelle was recent.
All right.
And she's in the England area, and she's got cool access to rare burrows and hills and things with the Stonehenge, and they're finding that Stonehenge and other megalith sites are associated with long skulls. And also the Travis crew, of course, with Brian Forrester, I think he's finding a bunch on the real skulls of humanoids, and the DNA analyzation of that is interesting because it's containing things that are not found in any other human. There's many humanoids. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's true.
Like you guys have the Homo florensis around New Zealand. That's that. It's Hobbit.
Really small. Yeah. Sometimes my husband says I'm from the Hobbits because I'm only short. So I've heard that before. Okay. So it's asking, in what way does frequency influence the discovery of the ancient artifacts?
Nice. Probably a lot. Frequency control is one of the layers to ascending. You have a frequency control center in your heart. It goes along with the controls. A lot of abilities are controlled and influenced by emotional output of different types, and if you understand how the emotions work. So increasing frequency usually goes association with love, because that's one of the oldest frequencies in existence, and expands into most things and powers most things. So love, heart expansion. It's a long, quick. It's a quick bandwidth that covers more of the DNA spectrum as opposed to fear kind of thing. Yeah. And so like changing your state of mind, your emotions, your vision, your will, your breath work. Yeah, it all does that. States of consciousness. As I've said before, people have entered different states of consciousness, meditation, prayers, and even psychedelics, and they have more success in archaeology. Which is interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, damn it. Sometimes people think that's a cheap way, and I'm like, always necessary. So, okay. So, is there anything you'd like to add for the future of humanity? Is there anything you'd like to share on the process of tween? Because truly, I don't get into a lot of what's going on at the moment, but a lot of people are interested. It is affecting them in a way. So with the change that's happening now, and a lot of things are happening overseas and in different countries, how do you see us navigating through some of that so that you can help people that aren't handling that well and aren't navigating it? There's a lot of fear that's coming up at the moment, a lot of survival fear, a lot of uncertainties to do with some of those elites that are in control of that fear. But also, is there anything in the future you'd like to share?
I want you to continue with that statement. Leave in the chat what you guys are dealing with, and because I want to help you guys in the audience more than anyone.
Yeah, because I'm getting a lot of people have asked, and I haven't been working for a few months, so I haven't been able to assist people. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity while you've got Sean here. If there's anyone who's going through fear, uncertainty, anything they'd like to ask about themselves and how they can handle that, because there is a lot of uncertainty in the countries at the moment, and a lot of people do have the perception of not getting involved, but the thing is, it's not that we're getting involved or we're focusing on that fear, but it is a runoff effect that affects people's survival and how they cope with what's going on at the moment. And then I'll ask my second question. Cool. You're welcome, Michelle. Yeah.
So people can have their beliefs on what we are or what this planet is. I'm totally fine with it. A lot of people bring out wisdom and answer the question a little differently.
That's right.
So it's really cool. My perspective, so feel free to take it with a grain of salt. Anyone, this planet is a high-level divinity planet that's like the thing she's good at, Earth Mother's good at, and it's got the fractal branching of prime creator of the galaxy here, highly invested. That source that's amplified in goodness, and the source connects to the source of all fractal branching, prime creator of the galaxy, universe going all the way up. And we're advanced species that is a super hybrid, 10,000 plus races, and a melting pot that will resolve all the wars between the multiverse, has the antidote for evil, and has overpowered psionic potential, inheritance from all these races. We're also inherit all their blocks, limits, curses, all that stuff to resolve. Once you get through that, you become overpowered, you combine abilities, become limitless. So this planet is kind of training various people that are brave enough to be here in the meat grinder from various worlds as starseeds with their soul family, sometimes following them in like ships in the clouds, to anchor into this, evolve, have a chain of events that affects everyone else, and change the future based on what our species becomes, and cures all these problems for the rest of the multiverse. We're being trained to be like lower G creational gods, essentially. And I would recommend people embrace that. And when in a non-egoic way, where you're not the only one and you're one with everything, and you want to connect with love, source, and connect in your heart, expand in goodness and moral code, and do no harm, take shit in the unfoldment of all life, advancements as it's seen in as yourself, and take in management roles. With the responsibility comes the power and the understanding, knowledge of science, to know things, how things work, and solve each problem, build up, and then also you can make a mind over matter sonic ability for each problem. Train your abilities, find what you have in store in yourself, who you are, and then take up your roles of responsibility and power and what inheritance, and then use that to make your world better, yourself, your state of being, your programming yourself. You were programmable by nature as humanity, and then help other people, and then keep extending out that influence as you make the world a better place just by being here. You're an anchor for your higher self source that does chess moves around the planet. And as you learn and who you are, you take more of that into your hands, and it upgrades dramatically. So you can make the timeline become way better. Now with fear, and I got like journals for days, hundreds of journals on all these different things people overcome and transcend, and the levels of transcending suffering towards nirvana and amplified knowingness. So each of these blocks in your path, you're going to transmute into a stepping stone block of the pyramid that allows you to ascend. Fear is mostly governed in the kidneys, the adrenal glands. So you can hold your ring finger or whatever you press your palm chakra to activate it, both in a mission and a kind of like psychic surgery vacuum that sucks away negative energy, negative emotion, attachment, negative entities, sends them to a higher self version of you that can process them and send them where they need to go. And use that in bringing focus. Focus attracts chi. You can create an emotion like healed, purification, already healed, already purified, whatever, while you're focus in an area. Clear out your body. It's like a supercomputer. The hardware is like the organs. Your kidneys, you can hold the back of your kidneys or whatever's comfortable and near around the kidneys. And your goal is to purify them. Purifying the systems, bring them to the most optimal state. And when they feel safe, their generators turn on. A lot of things like to treat us like battery and they shut off too.
That's true. Yeah.
They've got negative programs, attachment, emotions are an actual thing you can feel in the reality. It's hormones amplified and you can sense it more and it's an anchor for it. But there's entities that can dump negative emotions on you from a distance. So it's not just hormone. You're holding that, clearing your organs. The kidneys process mostly fear, stress, and worry. So that's a great one to do. And also, what we most worry about is survival and money. So it amplifies.
For sure.
Win nuts for people that want more abundance. And you're giving it love, like you're hugging around the ball of negative energy and giving it love like you're a mother or father, and it shrinks down. Love is all the nourishment it needs to turn it into what it wants to become, and it then transforms into usually its opposite, like sadness, resilience, happiness, fear into bravery and the abilities to protect and survival to thrival, like root chakra stuff. Yeah. And fear, you're transmuting it all, shrinking it down to nothing by giving it love and hugging it down to nothing, and getting good at controlling, redistributing it. If it's not yours, not your lesson, sometimes it gets a bigger level. You got to learn bigger things, but practice and master emotions. And with certainty, that has to do with a block to knowing, like what to do next, game plan, a map, feeling lost, which is centered in the heart. People have a knowingness body, which goes to oracles, intuition, awareness, being able to tune into information at a greater field level. This expands with this ability expands with your heart field expansion of the toroidal field, and the purification of the heart, the emotional body, and the ability to sense and feel and translate when your empathy, which if you can feel into something, you can change it, you can know it, you can understand it.
Yeah, that's right.
So you be holding your heart. You can either hold the front, you can hug yourself, you can hold the front and back of the heart, whatever, and you focus into it, the center, give it love, and you're making these shining little stars that start at the size of an atom brighter and bigger. Fuel them, the fuel to most of the systems of your source, higher self, spirit, soul, and many abilities is 90% faith, which is a placebo engine amplifier. Like most pills are only needing 1% greater than placebo effect to get improved. You can amplify programming in a reality warper. 5% unconditional love, which oldest frequency can turn into any ability, amplifies everything. And 5% gratitude, which is a state of abundance for or a state of being at its preferred state, and then you're at that reflection of it to where, oh, this is awesome. I love reality. I love the world. I love you all. I love myself. I love these parts of myself. Yeah. And it's like giving them offerings and understanding. You ever have somebody that showed you tremendous amount of gratitude and you're like, wow, I like this person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it gets everything in alignment. So faith, love, and gratitude is the fuel to most of those things. So you generate all that in your heart. And so you're fueling it like a sun, getting it to burn brighter. Every one of those heavinesses, blocks and things pushing it down, stealing your happiness or blocking you, they're all a challenge and a weight to train each ability to get stronger. So embrace them with faith, love, and gratitude, like you're taking down this big ball of heaviness. Like, thank you for being my firewood. And then you're clapping down as fuel, and then making that very little sun brighter and bigger until it gets increased in density and generation to where it can fuel the abilities operating system greater. And you start asking and knowing, you start answering every question you have, knowing more things, and instant until like faster and faster pace until it's instant. And then you become an oracle, and you know any pathway you need to take and have more influence over your destiny.
Did you get that? Watch the replay. Okay, well, here's an interesting question. Something different. If a person ascends to a high frequency, for example, New Earth, and everyone's on the New Earth idea, that's another topic. What happens to their family members? Are all parties separated? So there's this. Okay, I'll let Sean go down that road, because Mirantha's might get on a different road. Everyone's on this New Earth 5D shift idea, and I'm getting a lot of people contacting me as well on the subject about what happens if they're ascending and they're shifting their frequency. What happens to those that they love, their family, the people that they've known that may not be aware of that idea of things as a frequency, New Earth, ascension? A lot of people have asked me, what happens to the people I love if I decide to ascend and to go into a high frequency? I'll let you answer that, because you're the guest.
I love the question. I'm open to multiple interpretations of the varying degrees of ascending, including like if people go back in time and look at the ways people who have ascended or ascended masters, it goes into like things like light body, rainbow body, dragon body, Buddha body, being able to unmanifest and manifest your body in a higher dimension. And I look back in mine and other clients' history, and a lot of people here have ascended before on other planets or in Earth's previous history. And sometimes each time they come back, want to do it in a different way, so they master a different system. Something like mine is mostly going into love and truth. Some people go into knowingness, and go into magic, frequency control, DNA understanding, and there's like different categories, with the main focus being either the spirit or the soul. Most people now are doing it in the soul because it's a greater technology now.
Because see, the problem is, I know why she's asking, because a lot of people message me asking me all about the stuff while I've been away. I think what she's asking, which is what a lot of people are asking in the community, there's a belief system going around that only a certain amount of people or certain types or chosen types will ascend or will enter into a New Earth ideal or consciousness of love. And they're asking questions to myself and others because of the conversations going around the community of that there'll be people that will be left behind or unworthy in that way, and only a certain few will be going forward into this idea. That is, unfortunately, density separation, which I don't believe in at all. I don't believe in that idea of separation, to separate people by frequency, or if they've done enough work, or they're ascended enough and things like that. To me, that's a very large amount of judgment. But it's a very big topic in the community online itself. It seems to be the main conversation. Now, I can't follow that, because that, to me, that doesn't sit within love. It doesn't sit within that truth and idea of all deserved love. So I think she's asking you that specific idea as well. So what's your take on what is being said openly everywhere? It's everywhere, it's on everything, every platform, basically, this New Earth separation. So your perspective would be very interesting, if you don't mind.
Sure. So what will help you with that fear? Feel free to hold your kidneys and breathe into love, and know that this is divinely orchestrated, and each person has a unique chess move in this that is resolving a bunch of things, and they're not going to be forgotten for any reason. That being said, also recommend researching all the varieties of different beliefs on what ascension is, and it will open you up to the concepts of, not everyone knows exactly what's going to happen, and that And so
Yeah,
I
definitely.
am open, and I will never downplay somebody's theories on something. I
Yeah.
particularly read into certain things that are more likely than others.
Yep.
So this is talking about an event that's outside of our own control, theory that goes into a splitting of Earth, which Dolores Canyon and some other people have
Hmm.
hypothesized. There's even theories, and there's movies soft-scoping like Second Earth, I think it's a movie or something.
So
And
yeah, I don't know.
it's like separating two Earths.
Hmm.
I I think the
It's
consequence.
terrifying people, to be honest. It's terrifying people. It is causing a lot of fear, a lot of hurt, and a lot of sorrow on
Gotcha.
some of the topics. That's what she's asking about, because, you know, to believe that no one is worthy is not quite my concept at all. I can't allow that within me. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, this topic of conversation is about. Um, yeah, I've had people calling me crying. I've had people just devastated by some of the stuff that they've been told. So yeah, fear. That's what I thought. I think it's a fear-based narrative that is really, really upsetting people. And it's not. It's not a joke. I'm dead serious, hand on heart, that I've had people ask me while I've been away, even, what do I do? And I said, well, what is it you're following? What is it you're believing? What is it you're watching? And things like that. So you've got to have your own discernment and awareness with everything, even your own belief, who you are, why you are here, how you see things. You know, it does matter. And when Sean went into the ideal of love, the unconditional love of self, no matter what you believe, is sometimes a bit more important than the belief itself. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah,
um,
that's the
yeah,
greatest thing to focus on here, because
yeah,
on the top of everyone's list of purposes, when they ask me why am I here, top
yeah,
of the list always achieve a new level of love that can only be achieved in a human body in this realm.
yeah,
And some have come close to it, but it's infinitely growing, and
hmm,
humans expanded to it highly. We're overpowered in emotion tech.
yeah,
It goes into like Christ-like love, but that's
hmm,
not even the ceiling.
yeah,
So it amplifies every ability, amplifies everything. It's a layer of
yeah,
ascension.
yeah,
I'd say there's so many different types. All of it can categorize in growth, and the
hmm,
scenarios I mainly focus on is self-ascending, where you
yeah,
focus on your own growth and
yes,
achieve
I
a
agree.
capability that's ready for anything.
Yeah,
Now, the external functions of both the Earth and the Sun, and galactic pulses that happened to other planets, as well as this Earth on multiple different timelines and points in time. I believe in that too, though that it's it's more intelligent than the solar flash theory where everything breaks down. And I
hmm,
mostly see that timeline in the future happening if AI takes over and it needs a big pulse like that. Otherwise, it's
hmm,
been pulsing the whole time at degrees
yeah,
we're ready for, slowly getting us
yeah,
geared up to where we're acclimated to it. And some
yeah,
people have been kind of not achieving the level of acclimation based on anchors and things they're holding on to and illnesses, and
hmm,
not researching awareness, not taking health into their own hands, and they fade out
yeah,
like
yeah,
my dad and some other people. So
hmm,
that it happens.
mm,
But people are an immortal spirit and soul, so
that's true.
you don't have to like worry about them. And this is a game in that's finite to begin with.
That's true.
Now, it's I don't see there's any anchor to what will happen in ascending, because it's a free flow game, and there's
Hmm.
chess moves being played by both light and dark, and the dark's trying to hold it back and limit it. They're even going into the future and seeing when we make dimensional rises. So there's
Hmm.
events that are in potential of Earth rising dimensionally back into 4D and then a 5D, and then beyond. Each event has a chess war game going over it. um, that being said, you and yourself, you focus on your own ascending,
Yeah.
and the light body thing where you unmanifest mostly happen. People do that when they're ready to leave after their life is over, so you have
Hmm.
more control over it. And
Yeah.
then there's like ways to achieve it, though you shouldn't try to hold yourself back, because it's hard to do in the first place. and you got to learn a lot of things. That being said, do whatever you can. It's fine. I don't really I've tuned into the Dolores Cannon theory with the separation thing. I don't. I think there is some truth to it in the separation of timelines and awarenesses and people and consciousnesses themselves, because there's multiple versions of people in multiple timelines existing, and sometimes it shifts around for what the equation needed, and sometimes their awareness is somewhere else more as they're staying asleep or whatever. I think it's a little bit more advanced than the description going on, where two Earths are splitting, to be honest. That being said, it builds a lot of the understanding to bigger multidimensional things. I don't think there's anything to be afraid of with it. You can help people along if they're willing, learn psionics that go into awakening, truth, expansion of their safety, so their ego lets go of control of them needing to stay asleep, so that they open up and flourish, and they'll go at a pace that they're ready for. You might be going at a faster pace than most people around you because you're an older spirit and you've done this before, and there's all this empowerment to you. But everyone has a purpose for where they are, and there's reasons for the weight that they're on their shoulders. So you can make that speed up if you understand the weight and the order that's specific, because sometimes waking up can be really chaotic and even kill a person. And some people go back to sleep because of how horrible it is. So getting people ready, I don't think it's going to be an actual separation. Like if what I've tuned into is correct, it goes more of like you're going into greater perception and awareness dimensionally, and being able to reach into more realities, see more things, and the higher dimensions don't really lose track and capability of the lower dimensions unless they put more of their consciousness that way. Which if the Earth is doing it, then it's going to take a lot of everything on the Earth with it. Now I'm seeing it more of a war where they're trying to hold that back, and that be something people should focus on, where things are anchored to people, the DNA, the planet, place of power, grid, and this kind of like construct matrix around it that's trying to hold back it from growing back up, because Earth used to be a higher dimensional planet, and then in catastrophes it dropped it down in a survival mechanism that quarantines realities like veils that are coming into being. And as those become each integrated system of the greater whole, as we're all like cells and the system of Earth get more healed and safe, they expand and they connect more, and then these veils lift and it becomes more safe to expand into that, retrieve wholeness, heal, and then achieve and bring Earth out of her coma state back into healing, full capability, and back into the dimensional perceptions, which will more likely look like we're seeing all these interesting higher dimensional beings come into our reality and interact with us more, as if we're interacting with the 4D and then the 5D, and the like cryptids come out more and all this kind of stuff. Though there will always be more than what we can kind of translate right now, and most everyone has a bit of a piece of the puzzle. No fear needed in this expression. It's very intelligent. Earth has the ability to, if there's a big catastrophe, go back in time and change it, and even do time loops, send people that do time loops, change the timeline, and it feel like deja vu and dress rehearsal dream. Bring big catastrophes off the timeline onto another timeline to be experienced for a reason, to an output to be learned from. But she has a goal for the main graduation golden timeline.
So the bottom line is, Sue, as he previously said, is focus on you, focus on yourself, focus on how you want to feel and how you navigate that. That's the bottom line of it all. There's a lot of information out there. Yeah, there's so much information out there, Sue, that you got to take with a grain of salt. And if it doesn't resonate with you, well, you just don't accept it. You just move on. But don't get trapped in the fear of it, and don't get trapped in that's the only truth, because that's where the fear will come in with that. You know what I mean? So
And
Yeah,
fear and other things anchor reality of your
they
perception of
do.
what you've
Oh,
expanded
yes.
to. It changes your
Yes,
timeline.
they can.
You were like, where is this fear coming from? Could be
Yeah.
righteous fear, like to get you out of
Yep.
a negative situation. A lot of times
Mm-hmm.
it's dumped on us, and there's
Yeah.
probably some system of an apex multidimensional predator behind
Mm-hmm.
the manipulation and limiting and
Yep.
like what's the word, misunderstanding or a
Mm-hmm.
little like surrounding a gold nugget of truth with some misinterpretations of a
Yeah.
belief that's then passed down to
That's right.
influence and anchor people to a fear-based reality that
Mm.
as you open up and you transmute it with love, it's like taking off the blinders. If fear
It
is
is.
false evidence
Yeah.
appearing real, and
Yeah.
it going into where you get knowingness of the situation and then look
Yeah,
for
you do.
evidence.
Yeah.
Now, Dolores Cannon, I love her and I love her work, and the
Mm-hmm.
theories are interesting. Though I think we should always have different layers of what we believe deeply, based on
Yeah.
reality and truth and observable evidence and
Yeah.
shareability. Now, those beliefs you can always put on a shelf and like analyze it until to see if it wants to go deeper to a a foundation to your reality,
Yep.
or be kept on a shelf until you get more data.
Yeah.
And again, you will find many theories on ascension as you
Mm.
explore, which will open you up to more possibilities of how
For
it works.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think everyone knows exactly how it works.
No, no. The idea of knowing all, that's interesting, but yeah, it's not always possible for a lot of people. And I've experienced the same, where you've got to be careful of the perceptions that others place upon you as to how or you see that or how you live after that information. So, but that's how you learn. You learn by those type of moments. You know what I mean? And you learn to find that or not willfulness, but your will, your soul's understanding. It'll always bring you back to truth eventually. But sometimes it can happen immediately where you'll understand something and it doesn't sit well on you, or it might take a little longer, like Sean's saying. So you learn not to you learn not to attack things. You learn not to worry so much. You learn just to step. I always say, step back as an observer, no matter what it is, whether it's good information or not so good information, and wait. See where that goes. See if that sits inside of you. If it doesn't sit inside of you, well, then you walk on from that. You don't worry about it. Because there's a lot of belief systems that have a perception. We all have a perception through life, through beliefs, as Sean said, genetics, moments in life, traumas, or good moments, where that pretty much creates you. You know what I mean? Who you are, an identity. So you eventually learn to, as you're an observer and you're standing back from those sort of moments and your journey in that way, that you become the observer, where you eventually start to release those identities, that you don't always have to take them on as that's who you are. You know what I mean? So, and that's part of what we're going through as well, about releasing identities and navigating with love, which is our soul. Our soul is pure love. It's as it was created and as it's meant to be. So part of the shift that everyone's talking about is the fact that we're returning to that remembrance of who we truly are and how important that is for us to remember that. So even myself, going through the releasing of identities, whether
Great.
it's my own perception of identity or someone else's perception of my identity, of who I am or what I should believe, that's been a very large part of why I've been away as well. I'm changing, I'm releasing identities, even belief systems and things about what I thought I knew. And I'm standing back as an observer. And through that observation of not having to be a part of everything and understand everything, because I don't, so much love has entered me. I'm no longer under the banner of the judgments or taken on the perception of judgments of other things. And it's been difficult. It's not been easy, but it's also been wonderful. And I feel very different as an observer, I must say that. So therefore now my soul, the love of my soul, who I truly am, is in the forefront rather than the identity of who I thought I was or what I thought I believed. So that's about all you can really do, Sue. One day at a time, honor
Right.
yourself, love yourself, and just navigate. Just go through things, all right? And what lands, it's meant to land at that time, and that'll be something that you will learn from or grow from or move on from. That's as simple as it is. This idea we'll have the same absolute identity, is supposed to be identical, and that's the only way we're going to move forward, is not entirely, I think, factual. I think there's a lot of judgment in that, and I think that's why you're asking these sort of questions, where it's kicking you off your inner compass, your inner soul, the love of who you are, and creating confusion. So just step back and start again. I just say, no matter what you go through, whether it's good or bad, step back, have another look, start again, which is exactly what Sean's saying, and go from there. We don't all have to be identical in the same moment at exactly the same time of how we learn. That's very important to know too. So, okay, all right. Well, I think we've probably gone deep enough. Is there any message for humanity you'd like to share before you go? You pretty much covered some pretty important points, I think, for people to think about. There'll be a lot of, please do watch the replay, because Sean is deep. He's a deep thinker. So go back and watch the replay. There'll be things in there that he has spoken about, the energy that'll come from within his frequency and the love of who he is, that you'll need to watch a few times, because there'll be some pretty valuable energetic frequency love information that will come from that as well, that you may need. So I believe in watching things over and over, because there'll be a lot there that you may not have taken on straight away, that you may need time to digest. So do go back and watch it again and listen to him again, especially the last piece where he got deeper and spoke about love itself. There's a lot of valuable information in there for everybody. So is there anybody want to ask anything before we go? But we'd like you, I always get people at the end of the moment that we're spending together, is anything besides what you've spoken about that you'd like to give as a message for humanity itself, not just personal things? If there's anything there from your heart that you think is important that could be shared right now, please do, before we finish the podcast today.
Sure. Can you bring down that comment so that, or also like people know how to like subscribe to you and all that? You can just press on, click on any comment and then click it again.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Just click it one more time. Okay.
Okay.
Here. Let's see. Anything new? Because I like tuning in new things. Yeah, go into your heart. There's a lot of technology and spiritual technology there. An expansion of the field as you're becoming one with everything, connecting the source or the greater universe, knowing truth, love, peace, healing, time, space, reality, like greater constructs of the underlying existence center there as a technology. And everyone can become an oracle. Everyone can grow into your heart space and expansion to greater knowingness, to answering your question, to accessing the library in your heart, to knowing what is needed as you. There's a version of yourself deep within you that has a solution to every problem, can manifest at will, is connected to everything. And the version of you that already solved the problem, already is the problem, understands the solution, is everything. So there's a version of you, whether it be forward and backward time or whatever, that is that, and you can connect to that in expansion and bring that forward as a fountain out of your heart, amplifying with your happiness, love, bliss, joy, knowing truth as a light shining out of your heart, getting brighter and brighter, using the very heaviness that's coming at you, that's holding you back, the challenges that are coming up against you, as the very thing that's going to make you stronger, more capable, more aware, more understanding. Fear itself, we don't have to be afraid of when we understand what fear is. And that it is each one of these negative emotions is a lesson to overcome. Even if it's the worst case scenario, out of the awareness or control of higher selves, dimensionals, and sources, to where something wants to attack you or whatever, it's still ultimately your training partner to overcome and master and learn lessons from, and abilities to stop it or whatever. Any challenge, like everything that is external to us is a reflection of the self in the hologram of light splitting infinitely, that is you, that ultimately goes back to source. And these are all games to know ourselves better, and each aspect of reality to be mastered at a higher level, output in different flavors and angles and directions. And use this knowing that you have all this power deep inside you and that we barely know anything and the glass keeps expanding
It does. Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
to where we can just go beyond our limits, our limiting beliefs, and what is holding us back to uh, to be our greatest self, to be the solution and the light that this world needs, to bring in the heaven that you've envisioned in other realms and places you've been, and change this world for better. You have the capability, believe in yourself, and build the densities of these things you're cultivating, analyze them, write them down in a journal. Each page, one of the sectors you want to program yourself to become your greatest self. Oh, more magic, more love on another page, more happiness, more programming my DNA, getting rid of this block, this negative emotion I need to master. Each one you take more focus into, and you hold in your mind and your emotions and feel into, and you get more data out of it each time. It gets faster and faster. Do this, become a solution to the planet, bring out untold knowledge that has been forgotten, that you hold from other lives or whatever, into the now, and empower your life. It be seen by everyone of great value. You know what is needed. Follow your love and your heart, because it shows you more about yourself and who you are, regardless. I followed my love and my passions, and I read when I earn the abilities. That's part of my mission. That's funny.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. You little master, you. Okay. Well, look, thank you. That was beautiful. I could feel that. It was amazing. I know you took everyone somewhere. So I saw everyone go to a beautiful place. So, well, thank you. It has been an absolute honor. Truly grateful that you even came and had the time to spend with us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have met you. I remember my first moment that we met. It was incredible for me. It changed a lot for me. I realized not that I don't know a lot about myself, but I realized the capacity of what's really within me that is true and is love. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been there for hours, but anyway, it was amazing. So if anybody would like to have the experience that I've had with this gentleman, feel free to contact him. PsionicLeague@gmail.com is in front of you. If you forget, it'll be in the comments section. Go back and have another look. And he does things in honor and truly with love. He has the best interests of heart. He will treat you in a way that is 100% about you and what you need and why you're here in that aspect. So do go and see him. It is a heck of a journey. He's taken me on some journeys, and yeah, it's pretty incredible, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I just love what he does. I love his multifaceted abilities. The things that you're capable of doing is it proves reality. It proves that what we know is real, actually. So Sean can actually take you on a shamanic journey, which is another different field that he works in, that he does. And that is actually very exciting. It's a pretty incredible experience. So if anybody's interested in going on their own personal journey, Sean will help you with that and take you to places that you've probably never been or have forgotten that you have ever been before. So go and do that. Alrighty, my love. So thank you. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for your questions, because the questions open doorways that we hadn't considered in the moment, and makes it very powerful and very valuable. Yep.
Since it's streaming awesome, I think, can you tell people how they can reach you and get a hold of you?
You can reach myself, Mirantha O'Rourke. Now, most people reach me through Facebook Messenger at this time. I do have other YouTube channels, Mirantha O'Rourke 8888. I've also started a new OBE, Out of Body Experiences channel. My details are on my page for that as well, because I've had a very interesting 3 months, and I've had a very interesting just over 12 months on leaving my body on a regular basis, and what I've seen, what I've experienced, and how it has changed me. And it's been a very mind-expanding journey to leave the body consciously awake, enter the other side, which is home and many other realities and different spaces, and the things I've seen. So I'm sharing those. I've just done one yesterday. You're more than welcome to go and have a look. I'll repost the details again so that, actually no, the details are on my page of the one I did yesterday, the recording. You can go and watch that. It speaks about how I've left my body, what I've seen. But the first one I posted with that was probably one of the most more important experiences I've had, which is where my mother, who passed away only a few weeks ago, of the forgiveness, healing, and love by leaving my body, being fully awake, conscious, and meeting her on the other side, and the moment we spent together, and how that changed everything for me. And like I said, I understand a lot of things, as most people know me, or what I do and what I'm capable of, but that would probably be one of the most powerful moments I've ever had in my life, of forgiveness, finding love, healing, and it really did change me over the last 3 months and last few weeks from having that experience. So go and watch it. It is 2 hours long, roughly, but if you don't want to watch all of it and you'd like to just see that powerful moment, it's around about halfway, just over halfway through, where I then start entering into how did I meet with her on the other side and what happened. So I posted that first because another lady asked for it, who is interested in the same sort of things, and she'd lost her parents, and she hasn't had that chance to meet them and heal and have a conversation to work through some things. So that's why I posted that first. I will post a lot of other things, of experiences that I've had, what I've seen, and how it truly is real, that the other side does exist and it's true, and that love is real. I'm living it. I've felt it. It's no longer just speaking. I'm feeling, I'm living that reality. So go and enjoy those. For anything else, I offer a bit of everything. It's on my page. You're more than welcome to go and see me on Facebook, have a read. And yeah, that's about it really. So thank you for asking.
Type of readings and things you're offering?
Okay, well, a lot of things are changing for me at the moment. So I probably will start readings maybe as of this week. I haven't got my bookings organised, but my readings are a little different. I can do a bit of anything really. I can do whatever you want. But after what I've experienced in the last 3 months and the changes that I've gone through, a lot of my work, I think, will enter into understanding yourself, learning to heal, work with yourself, find love within yourself. But I can do little readings of normal everyday things. So whatever you want in that way. But I think my new job, if you want to call it that, or new mission, is helping people find love. I think that's, after what I've experienced, I think that is probably the most important thing here, is to find love within yourself. And that connects you back to who you are, your true soul within you. So it's changing. But you're more than welcome to come and see me for little things. So whatever that may be. But it's the way I feel now, to be honest, Sean, the way I see things is a lot different. So it's not as it's not structured in a way where I just read anymore. Now I'm about awakening. Now I'm about bringing love home. So it's about healing. It's about finding the healing within you too. It's very important that we do a lot of work on ourselves in that way. All right. Okay.
So, do you have any other events coming up, or projects, or books, or other ways people can get a hold of you?
Yes, actually, at the end of this month, I will have Brian. How do you say his surname? Is it Singh?
Yeah.
Is it Brian? Yep. Okay. He's known as Solar Bee. He's in amongst all the disclosure and super soldier type stuff. So I'm really looking forward to talking to him. This is something a little different again. That'll be around about the end of this month. Come and watch that. I will be doing a lot of out-of-body experience recordings and conversations and sharings that will be running through this month as well. But that's about it at the moment, because I'm not working as much as I was. Mirantha's decided to pull back a little bit and have some time at home. I've got a husband who needs me and things like that. So I will be available randomly, basically. So I won't be available 7 days a week like I used to. I'm getting too old, Sean. I'm 58. I got 58 in January. I need some time off. So thank you so much.
Also, getting a frequency in my ear. There's some divine version of you wants to talk to you. But yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you mind if I plug myself?
You plug whatever you want. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, so I'm Sean Bond, founder of PsionicLeague, PsionicLeague YouTube. It's right here with PSI, PsionicLeague.com, and /services, or the drop-down menu if you want to reach me for consultation, clearing, healings, and whatever you want with the consultations, like depossession, amplifying the heart, or emotions, learning different abilities, unlocking abundance. Hundreds of abilities you can go into.
Oh, thousands. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit. Thousands of abilities, my goodness. Because I think you have a little bit to do with the disclosure movement as well, do you not? And the super soldier programming and that? Yeah, so we didn't have time for that today. Maybe another time that we can come in and just do disclosure information. I think people do need to know about what's going on.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you tune into with Alice Springs too.
Yeah, oh God, give me homework. God damn it, Charles. I'm going to go out. No, okay.
Yeah, that would be powerful. I think that would be a great show.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. Yeah, it'd be amazing. Maybe that's another topic we can get into at some stage. I'm sure there'll be plenty of things that we could look at in the future. All right. Hey, Andrew. Well, thank you. Honestly, love you heaps. As I said, I've enjoyed meeting you. And I will definitely get Sean on again in the future, maybe next month or something like that when he's free. He does have a lot that he does, as you've noticed. He's very busy. And we can come in, and I think disclosure would be a good one to start with, and then something else maybe in this year to do with other things as well. So, all right.
Sounds good. You do this very well, very professional.
Thank you. Yeah, well, that's the
work.
creative side of me. Like, I like to have pretty pictures and have everything ordered, ready to go. So
it really makes a difference. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime. Alrighty. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, and feel free to share the replay. There's plenty of people that I think need to hear and see Sean. I think it will help them a lot. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. So thank you. Much love now. Be kind to one another.